and welcome back to my Flock and Squawk. Today we are going to be making the quintessential Easter cake, the lamb cake. So this is a baking mold that is 3D. It has two pieces, and so it makes a 3D lamb. The one I purchased is from Nordic Ware, and it is part of their vintage cake pan collection. They also have a bunny one, but I feel like the lamb is the quintessential Easter cake, depending on where you grew up. So apparently these became popular in Christianity as a symbolization of Christ for Easter. However, it was apparently used well before Christianity took it from the pagans, because they would make replicas of animals out of food to use as symbolic sacrifices. At least that's what Google is telling me. So that is what I'm going with, but I thought, why not try it out? So for this, I'm just going to be using a coconut cake mix. The guide that goes with the cake pan says that about a 16-ounce box cake mix works well for this pan. I happen to be having the Duncan Hines Dolly Parton collection, which I've tried before. Super good cake. Like, this is a really good coconut cake, in my opinion. But I'm mostly excited and nervous about this cake coming out of the mold. So let's just get right into it. I'll mix things up, we'll pour it in the mold, put it in the oven, and then I'll show you unmolding it. Alright, so I have my milk, my eggs, and now my cake batter, or cake mix, and then this is the butter that goes into it. But I'm going to give this a little stir first and then add the butter, and then we beat it with a hand mixer for a little bit. Then it'll go in our mold. Alright, my melted butter is going in, then I'm going to bring out the hand mixer. This has been beat up by the mixer. I'm going to do a couple stir-throughs. Then we pour it into our mold. So I wasn't thinking about this earlier, but it's kind of a blind bake because I won't be able to really see the cake in the pan because it's a two-part mold. So it's kind of like a blind bake also, but I hope I get the timing right. Alright, so it's the moment of truth, pouring this into the pan. So I sprayed each half of the pan with a Pam cooking spray, which is supposed to help with getting it out. So it kind of looks like this, greased up. I used quite a bit, so that way hopefully it'll actually come out. So, I'll turn you around. So I have, this is the bottom half, which has the face detail. I know it's the bottom because the top part actually has a little hole in the top to help vent the cake. So I have this on a little cookie sheet, and then I'll just turn this around. It's all greased too, but see, there's a little hole right there. This is the top. So what we're gonna do is just pour the cake batter in and then place the top on top, and then it goes in and it bakes. So yeah, that's what we were looking at. So I'm going to set you down. We're gonna pour in the mold, pour in the cake batter into the mold, and then bake it and hope for the best. So I'm gonna pour it in and I'll see you when it's time to unmold. So it's the moment of truth. In the lamb goes. And according to the recipe that is included with the lamb, you can test the cake to see how done it is by sticking a toothpick through the vent hole. So I'm going to do that when I go to check it, because the Dolly Parton cake mix says maximum like 28 minutes, but that's for baking like rounds of cake. 3D mold might take longer, so I'll check back in with you when it is ready to unmold. Oh, that's not good. This is what we're kind of looking at the moment. And there's a little blob in the oven, but I'm just gonna go with it, and I'm gonna put it in for a little longer. The toothpick came out with stuff on it, so I guess. I guess it's done. Maybe, perhaps. There's some gooey parts. I guess I'll just stick it back in. Alright, so it's time to unmold this thing. So I'm going to set you down. We're going to see how this goes. Not baked. So I'm just gonna the head is baked mostly, enough so that the toothpick comes out clean, but his butt, that is not baked. So I restarted the oven and he's going to go back in. I'm sorry, Lammy. Alright, so he went back in and now this is what he's looking like. Still, you know, a little underdone in like one spot. So I'm calling it quits because I don't want him to start burning or anything. But I think this is a fail. I don't think Dolly Parton's cake mix is the right one for the lamb cake, sadly. But yeah, this is where he is at right now, and I'll unmold him in a bit when he cools. Alright, so he's not the prettiest of lambs, but he did come out of the mold, so that is a plus. Yeah, he's gonna taste delicious, but yeah, this is a fun trial. Well, sadly, this is how my little lamb has turned out. I think it's my cake mix in that it isn't like a super sturdy cake. It's more of a fluffier, lighter weight, not angel food, but you know, that airy, lighter cake. Probably a denser cake mix would do better, but he did come out of the mold all right, and it does look like a lamb. He just is not going to stand anytime soon, as well as me having issues with just like it overflowing and not being baked all the way through when I initially took it out. But yeah, here is my first attempt at the lamb cake, so I think I'll try again another time, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I make a little bit of everything from cooking to sewing, vlogs, baking, all of that, so if you would like, please check out my channel and subscribe if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Ciao!